Mama is not on the show. You eaten me up alive.
We are live, and the first thing that Jaideep says is that he's glad that Mama is not on the show. I know why he's glad, but still, I'll just, for fun, ask him, why are you glad, Jaideep, that Mama is not on the show?
He would have eaten me up alive. 10 wicket win.
The love that, Mama and Jaideep has for each other. And of course, they went for two teams. Their prediction didn't match, nothing new about that. It was UP Warriors versus Royal Challengers Bangalore, and Royal Challengers Bangalore needed this win. But not only did it not come, it was a convincing defeat, 10 wickets. I will start off by asking what is going wrong with Smriti Mandana, the batter. Forget about the captain for a moment. Let's talk about Smriti Mandana, the batter. Joydeep.
Yeah, I think she's completely lost her rhythm, her feel. On top of that, the team is not performing. She's captain for the first time. The spotlight is on her. She's the highest paid. It's all happening for her. And she also seems to be the sort of person, I don't know her at all, but also seems to be the sort of person left in her own corner, does her own thing. But right now, everything is on her. And also, sometimes this can happen to a player. But if everybody else is playing well and the team is rallying well, then it's not so much on the face of it. But neither is she hitting it well, nor is the team. Nothing working out for her. It's a tough place to be right now.
But Bharat, Smriti obviously, has the cushion of players like Divine, Perry, who aren't doing that badly. Even Divine, it's okay. She got out, Perry got a 50, but they are contributing somehow throughout in the 4 matches. Let's put it straight away. Mandana has actually not done anything. But you would ideally think she will have less pressure.
Yeah, this I think her rhythm is off. As Joydeep said, Mandana's rhythm is completely off, and the matchups are also working for opposition teams. They're using off spinners today. They used left arm spinner from round the wicket. That again they wanted to tuck her up for room, make sure that she doesn't free her arms. But her rhythm is off. So basically, that is what is not working. She tried to hit her way out of bad form, but just didn't work out again. This her timing is off completely. She's someone who I think she's at her best when she times the ball really well, hits the sweet spot of her willow, but it's just not happening for her. Timing is off.
Krishna,
Yeah.
version to play if you're not in sync, especially at the top of the order, because you're meant to get on with it. If it's just not happening for you, sometimes you try to get out, you can't get out. We've actually in KKR, we've actually bowled two people outside off them so that they don't get out. So the next guy who's in really good form doesn't come in. So sometimes because you want to bat at 140, 150, that doesn't happen. You're trying to hit the ball, you're not, you're mistiming it, you're engaging, you're hitting your pad, a single here, a single there. So neither are you getting out, nor are you being able to hit. So it's tough being because then every ball goes, you feel the pressure.
Jadip, I actually wanted to ask you something a little different with Smriti. I think Bharat will agree. In the 2017 World Cup, when she was struggling with this pull shot being caught in the boundary, it had become a pattern. And again, as Bharat said, the matchups, when she's not in form, again, the matchups are, continuously bothering her. During a tournament, somehow, it is a pattern with Smriti. If she is out of form, she is not able to, quickly come back. So, to a player like her, forget about her being Smriti Mandana. I am saying to a player like her who probably doesn't come back very quickly, what would you, or how would you advise her rather?
A player of Smriti's caliber cannot have a pattern. You can have you can be in a rut of form, anybody can. But if you've played for as long as she has and all over the world with so much of success, she would have played a lot of off spinners, a lot of left arm spinners and everything. So it's just that now it's not working for her. And I think just coincidentally, she got out 3 times to the off spinner and to the left arm spinner. So now people can say, but I have also seen her come and really play well against spinners. But right now, everybody can say she's weak against the spinners, or she's got an issue because last 4 innings have been got to spinners. You will get her two bowlers. You either get her to a fast bowler or a spinner. So it's like that. That's how the game goes.
No, I didn't say that she's weak against the spinners. I am saying
No.
that.
I'm saying that a lot of people. No. I know what you said. I'm saying there is no pattern to it. I mean, when somebody's new, like today, as say a Saika comes, and then you say, okay, she's new to this level, and if you sweep her from the stump, then she gets played because she's not a finished product. But somebody like a Smriti, been there, done it all over the world, so much of success. If there was a pattern to her, she wouldn't have been as good as she is. People would have sorted her out before. But it's just coincidentally that she's got out to off spinners. I've also seen her murder spinners. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So it's just that because she's got out to off spinners 3 in a row, and then now to the left arm spinner, that people feel that okay. Now in the next match also they'll give a spin because that's sort of it's a built-up pattern. It's not a pattern that she's had for life. It's right now.
Exactly. I was talking about the built-up pattern, and my point
Yeah.
to you
I
was
think
then this. Yeah,
I think she can play a little
say for
straighter.
example, as a coach.
Yeah,
Sorry?
she can play a bit straighter. She's been, she loves it
This is
inside
what
out. Yeah, she can play a bit straighter because right now everybody knows that Smriti will go leg side of the ball and go over covers. So see, Saurav was somebody like that who's equally same ploy. But when we started playing with Saurav, when we would tuck him up into the body, he would actually start hitting us straight. And I'm talking about before Saurav Ganguly, before Saurav Ganguly in 1996. So in between 1992, when he went to Australia in 1996, is where I humbly believe that Saurav Ganguly, the cricketer, was made.
Right.
Because in 92, they took him to Australia way too early. He was 19 years old and got a very good Dilip Trophy 100 against West Zone at the Nehru Stadium, so they picked him. But between 92 and 96, he played the Ranji Trophy, the Dilip Trophy, the Desert Trophy, the India A, all these matches of the Wales trophies back in the day. So then, in club matches, Mohun Bagan and East Bengal, when we played against each other, so we wouldn't bowl. So we would come around the wicket and bowl into his body. So that time, going outside covers wouldn't work. So then he started hitting straight. And later on, we saw how good he became, hitting over long on, over long off. So I think that is something that Smriti can talk about, playing a lot more straighter, getting the side screen into the game instead of going over covers.
Well, moving on to RCB batters did get starts, but kept getting out. Sophie Devine. You want to say something, Bharat? Sorry, you wanted to add.
Yeah, yes, I said it. Sorry.
So yeah, as I was saying, Sophie Devine, even Perry was batting really well, but of course she was missing out on the on partners. But Bharat, what surprises me is why was Richa at 8? Why was she batting at 8?
I think they were trying some funky selection, funky kind of batting, or I can't help it. Because she should have definitely batted higher up, perhaps a thought Shayanka Patel, she can be used as a floater or something in one game, but definitely Richa Ghosh should have come up third, though she's not in form. It's just something for the think tank or the management times.
Joydeep, does it? Because you have coached so much, played cricket yourself, does it happen that when things are going wrong for you, whatever you do, it'll just go wrong?
Yeah, that can happen. I have seen the best of them. My greatest story is in 2012 when KKR won the IPL. Manvinder Bisla in the nets before the final was the last guy to bat. He had Wasim Akram bowling left arm spin and I was bowling off spin to him, and the net bowlers were bowling 2 drops to him because he was not in the 11. The main 11 at practice were back in the hotel. Next day, Balaji woke up with a stiff back, so he couldn't play. So Bretley had to play. Bretley playing means one foreign player had to sit. So Makalam sat. So who'll keep wickets, and then Bisla kept wickets, and the rest is history. So it's bound to happen.
The momentum, as we call it, the momentum, which is
he got to know about 1 o'clock in the afternoon that he's playing the final.
Wow. And then he played that innings.
Yeah. Well, so all I'm saying here is that sometimes no matter how hard you try, it's not happening. It just doesn't happen. But what is rather worrying, and for me, is that it's not happening for any of them. It's not happening for Richa. It's not. See, actually, Ellis Perry has done a bit. She got 40 odd in the last game. She got 50 today. But in this game, she is not Alyssa Healy. She's not a Chris Gayle. She's not going to get you a 30 ball 80 and win you. She will get you a 45 ball 50 60, but she'll still need a couple of 17 ball 25s and a 12 ball 22 to get it up to 170 180. Just not happening. I think people like Richa and all, they need to step up because Richa is a big player now. Sometimes how you go in the auction tells you how big you are, and you before you were young and you could hit the ball, it was great fun, but now there's a tag with your name. It's so much easier making a name than holding on to one.
Wow, that is a fantastic line. Well, now if we get into RCB bowling a little, Alisa Healy has a problem with incoming balls. I am not saying Renuka would have swung the ball, not swung. What do you reckon of this Komal Zanzad and Shriyanka Patil opening the bowling? Bharat.
Yeah, okay. Zanzad, she gets a little bit of in swing, so perhaps that is what they thought they can use her. I've seen her in a couple of videos that she gets a little bit of in swing. Perhaps they thought that Alisa Haley's front pad would go slightly across and for them to target and to get a little bit of that might be the thinking. Just looking at from that perspective. But yeah, obviously, someone like Renuka, expect her to get a little bit of in swing and open the bowling. But that might be the thinking what they thought of Zanzad.
Joseph, there is another question. I was seeing Mandana's body language. Sorry, Naveen Shankar has a question. Alisa Healy and Meg Lanning are a few notches above others, ruthless to say the least. Joseph.
Completely agree. But I think Meg Lanning is more consistent than Alisa Healy. Alisa Healy often has not been that consistent, especially even for a spin.
Yeah.
Hasn't been that consistent. She'll get a quick, like a 11 ball 21 and go away. So she does the job. But as far as the big runs are concerned, that's the reason why in 2020 cricket, when somebody is averaging 37, 38, strike rate 140, those are the real daddy players or the mummy players. For me, like in the men's IPL, you talk about a David Warner, Shikhar Dhawan, 500 runs every year. So, that is where the consistency comes. And there are some others who will come and get you, a 21 ball 42 and win your game. But once your average is 39, your runs are 574 and your strike rate is 145. That is a winning combination, man. Those three together. Generally, you will see the more the runs, the lesser the strike rate. The more the runs in the average, the lesser the strike rate. The more the strike rate, then the runs in the averages drop. Because it's impossible to keep up all three. And that's why it's always the people at the top who seem to have the best of all of these because they have, the power play and 20 overs to work with. So that is the reason why Meg Lanning had taken a break from cricket, in spite of came back, the way she did in Australia, the way she's playing here. Alisa Healy today was fantastic. But this Alisa Healy, I saw maybe after maybe 12, 14 games. You want to see them every third, fourth game. That's the big play.
Yeah, if I can add something about that.
Absolutely.
Alisa Healy is someone I think takes few more risks. She takes a few more risks in the way she bats. She looks to make room, manufacture room, subsidize bid. Meg Lanning can score almost as quickly as Alisa Healy without taking. It seems like that without taking so many risks when she bats. She can play in an orthodox manner and still score as quickly. That's how it feels while watching.
Yeah. So there are two types of players. One who can without risk do the job. One taking a risk will do the job. So one that takes the risk will always have more failures than the one that doesn't take the risk.
Absolutely.
So that's basically Suresh Raina at number 3 at one time wouldn't take that many risks. Had a great game plan. Gautam Gambhir had a great game plan. But then you'll see others who will take a lot of risks. And when they come off, they're like superb. They're like unbeatable. They'll play shots that nobody can. But you'll generally want to be like the ones who are a little more solid because that's a safer route to take with less potholes in it.
Absolutely. RCB had had stars. Is it a case of, too many cooks spoil the broth?
I don't think so. I think it's just not happening for them. This Mumbai Indians team also went through a rut like that. I remember in Dubai they lost 6 out of 6 or 7 out of 7. And that, with the Suryas and with the Ishan Kishan and with the Rohit Sharmas and the Malingas and everybody, they came back and won the tournament. That's a different question. But I'm just saying it can happen. I don't think too many cooks because everybody's got too many cooks. Everybody's got too many cooks. There are 4 foreign cooks, there are a couple of Indian cooks, and there are a couple of novice cooks. So that's always going to
Yes,
be
but
the
I
case.
think the biggest batch of cooks or the best batch of chefs, I mean, people might think we are talking about restaurants,
Yeah,
but we aren't.
the most expensive chefs are in RCB, the Michelin ones.
The
But
Michelin ones, yes, the
yeah,
Michelin star ones.
yeah, but everybody's got Michelin star or some star. That's what this gig is all about. See, one good thing I love about this tournament, and it's only in its first year. It's just teething now. What it brings for me, I always look at things as what am I getting out of it instead of what am I not getting out of it. I've got a Saikia. I've got a young whoever. Just see the lot of talent that's coming up, and I always feel that somebody. Oh, there comes Saikia. So there's a replacement now in case Yadav or Gaikwad is out of form or whatever. There's another girl who's come. Similarly, there'll be batters. Similarly, there'll be medium pacers. Similarly, there'll be left
Uh,
arm off spinners. So for me, I think it'll take about 3 years. We'll have a great pool. And that's what this is all about. And just finishing on that one, just with our last topic, very interesting one. See, you always want somebody who takes less risks but has a lot of range. Now, the biggest example of that is Surya. Now, Surya doesn't take a lot of risks because his range is so big. The moment your range is limited as a player, then you have to take risks because then you're doing things which you're not capable of doing. You can't get into
right.
position. The Surya, even when he plays the most outrageous shots, it looks like it's in his repertoire because his range is big. Now, somebody with a lesser range, let's just pick somebody who's very good, but maybe not as big a range as him, like Shreya Shayyar. You know, so at one point, Shreya Shayyar can look. So you'll see Surya Kumar being a lot more consistent than Shreya Shayyar because the more the range, the more the repertoire, the more the chances of you succeeding.
Perfectly put. Bharat, the move of getting Devika to open with Healy.
Turned out to be a good one, right? They had Sherawat, and they perhaps thought that the left-hander can do well. And see someone who put up a good show. Whatever I've seen of her, she looks to manufacture a little bit of room, hit through covers, hit into the downtown territories. Yeah, it looks like a player who's smart, who uses the crease nicely, and she put up a good show. Turned out to be a good one, as John Lewis himself was saying when he was asked that they thought they can try something else because it doesn't work really well for them at the top with Sherawat. So in the end, it worked out well.
Especially if somebody's batting at 204 in the other end, then you can bat at 116 and get away with it.
Absolutely, I think, and the target was also pretty okayish. Let's
Yeah,
put it this.
and then your partner's batting at 206 strike rate.
Yeah, exactly. You
Life
basically
is good.
have to just, yeah, right is good. You're watching from the non-strikers end, taking singles here and there. You're good.
You didn't even have to buy a ticket. You got the best seat in town 20 yards away.
Correct. But Joydeep, Devika wouldn't have to buy a ticket because it's free for women. So anyway, she was.
Oh, nice one, Trisha Ghoshal. Looks like you enjoyed that one.
Yes. Anyway,
Well done. I didn't know that. Thank you.
so getting to Sophie Eccleston, she sorry. Getting to Sophie Eccleston, Eccleston has been
No,
fantastic.
how about a question for you now? You're an RCB fan when the IPL happens, but this time you went for UP. That is a question from
No.
us both.
I am a Gujarat fan this time.
No, but this game you picked UP over
Oh, that is
RCB.
because nothing was working for RCB. When nothing works for you, nothing works for you. Simple.
Bharat, there you go. Wait, I tried.
It's very simple, you know. Let's put it this way. It's very simple. If
Got
nothing's
it.
working for you, and especially honestly, Jaideep, if you ask me, for me the biggest worrying signs are Mandana's body language. While I do understand losses are not easy to handle, but let me put it this way: I have a lot of expectation, or I had a lot of expectation. I'm not saying Mandana the leader by captaining. That you both know, by captaining it doesn't mean only setting the fields.
Yes.
It is leading, it is talking to them, and the whole body language. I don't see that in Mandana. I'm repeating again, it's not easy to lose 4 matches. It isn't.
No, no, you
But
make a great point. The best captain for me are the ones who, when they're out of form, how they captain.
exactly. How they
And
carry
Like
the
most
say,
team
wilt.
is like,
And most of them wilt. Most of them, or that's always why you want your captain. And even now, when I was working with Bengal or whatever, when we pick a captain, we want to pick a captain whose own personal form will not have that much of a bearing. A little bit of bearing, we all know. But it won't look crestfallen. It won't be at fine leg moaning, like that.
yeah,
So,
like say,
exactly.
please go on.
Yeah, Bharat.
yeah, like say Mark Taylor, he went to 17 tests without 100 between the 96-97 test match against West Indies and right until a touch passing test. But yeah, he still looked like someone who was a leader during those 17 tests, just to give an
But
example.
he also won a lot of games, so that helped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He still looked like a leader when he was going through such a bad patch for 17 tests. Yeah.
Yeah, Smithy going through a bad phase, nothing happening, and team not winning. So sometimes when the team wins, you at least come back to the room, you open that, you put the key card, you slam the door and say, "Oh, terrible day, but at least we won." But here,
Correct.
her worries are compounding day by day. And also, like we said, the Michelin stars are there. So, with the price range and everything and the hype that happens, it's not her fault. She's one of the best in the world. And there's only a matter of time because
Absolutely.
form is something that's not at your beck and call. When you have it, you keep praying to the Lord that you have it. And when you don't have it, you can hit your head against the wall. It'll come back in its own sweet time. So, and when it comes back, I met Mayank Agarwal at the Irani Cup, and I saw him at the last Irani Cup. He was in woeful form. Dilip Trophy gone, Irani Cup last one, the beginning of the year. And then when we shook hands there, I said somebody's going to have to pay. And then 990 runs in the season. And I met him at this Irani Cup. He said, "Joydeep, you were right. Somebody did pay. So 9 innings, 990 runs. So somebody will pay for Smithy's out of form also. That'll also happen. But for RCB, it's a franchise. You can see the
Absolutely.
faces. You can see the faces of the support staff. They put so much into it. Losing a game here and there I can understand, but losing all it's a short tournament. It's not IPL. It's not a 2 month
True.
tournament. It's a 3 week tournament.
Absolutely. But somewhere, Joydeep, as I'm saying, her body language, the only worry, you know your Smriti Mandana. And when I'm saying you know your Smriti Mandana, you know your class. You know you will make a comeback. Probably that charged up as a leader. I had really liked the fact that she was giving a motivational speech just before the match. But somehow, when body language, which I know it will be very wrong to compare. Yesterday, literally Delhi Capitals was hammered. But when Meglan came out on the field, it literally, her body language was different. Again, she's of course more experienced, has faced more, and has been on a lot of winning sides. But as I'm saying, it is a learning curve, and I would like Mandana to learn that.
Sure, great point. Once W.V. Raman, we were in commentary in the India-Australia series this year, the 5 1 days that happened in Australia. And W.V. Raman
Yeah,
told me that if Meg Lanning had captained the Indian cricket team, we would win every trophy. So obviously she's special as a captain. She's something that no other probably woman cricketer, as a captain I'm saying. As a player, there are many, many good players, and she's one of them. So that's what separates. I think Smithy will learn of this one. It's been a tough start, but the start sometimes helps, but it's the end that matters. It might not be this year, but if we go on to see Smithy as a damn good captain in 3 years' time for India, this learning curve could have a huge impact on that.
absolutely true. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining. Tomorrow is a big game, and tomorrow
Okay.
we will be weekend game, Gavaskar Trophy date, Premier League moving to. I would say it's moving almost going to the business end. So I hope both of you will join in tomorrow as well. It's
Surely will.
Delhi Capitals versus
Obviously.
Gujarat Giants. Thank you so
Surely
much,
will.
and hope you guys have a good night.
You too,
Good night.
Trisha. Thank you. Bye.